Hello everybody, welcome yet again to CPDict. In this video we are going to look at the solution of problem B from today's Codeforces round 670 division 2. It is called maximum product. So we have been given an array of n elements and we need to find out the maximum possible product we can have using 5 elements from our array such that the indices are in this order. So if we observe, the order of indices does not really matter. We just need to choose 5 elements from our array, and if we choose 5 distinct ones that are present at distinct indexes, so if we pick any 5, this property will be maintained, that is I is less than j, j is less than k and all. So we just need to find out 5 elements and get the maximum product value. And yes, so let's see what we can do and what are few cases which we need to think. So yes, so the elements in our array ai, it can be 0, it can be positive, and or it can be negative. So if it is 0, it will not be contributing to our answer because we are finding the product. So if we multiply anything with 0, it will turn out to be 0. So we will not be adding it to our final array. We are storing the elements which are useful to us in the array vector. So if we see 0 at any point, we are just using a pointer which tells us how many zeros we have seen till that point. So count of 0, if this is what we are seeing. So if the element is positive, we are pushing in our array and also incrementing pos. This is a count which tells us how many positive integers we are having in our array, and similarly here we are pushing it in our array and maintaining a count for negative. It tells us how many negative integers we are having in our integer. So if you see, we are only pushing positive and negative values in our array. So after doing this for all the n elements in our array, if we see let's say the new size of our array is n. If we see the n is less than 5, it means answer will always be 0 in this case. It simply means the other elements would have been 0. So, and we need to include at least 1 0 if we are to make 5 elements. As the new array contains less than 5 elements, to make 5 elements we must include other zeros which we initially did not push in our array. In this case, if n is less than 5, answer is 0. Okay, so then in the second case, in other cases, so let's see, if you want to find out the maximum product, first of all we should try to find out a positive product, as positive is always, any positive value is greater than any negative value. So to have a positive product, we can have the product of 5 positive numbers, or 3 positive and 2 negative numbers, or 1 positive and 4 negative numbers. And yes, there is another case in which we are not having any positive numbers, that is pos equal to 0. So it means we are either having negative integers in our array, or we are having zeros. So what we will do to find out, as we have only negative values in our array and we need to choose 5 among those values, find out the product. So if we multiply 5 negative values, the answer would be negative. Then, and also if we are talking about negative values, we want to get the least product we can get, as if we talk about the magnitude of it. So we want the least magnitude. By magnitude I mean ai multiply by, like, multiplying 5 values and taking the mode of it. To get the least magnitude, if we are only having negative values, what I would be doing, I will sort the array, and after sorting, it will make sure the last 5 elements in my array, as all of them are negative, these 5 would be having the least magnitude or the least magnitude than any other elements which are present on the left of these 5 elements. Then I'll simply multiply this. Let's say it's the product is called temp. Then I'll check one other thing. If along with my negative values, if I'm also having at least one zero in my array, then I can simply use 0 as my answer, as this temp would be less than 0 because I am using 5 negative values to find out the product. So if I am having at least one negative, this is the case when I am talking there are only negative values in my final array which I generated. So after finding out this temp, I see whether there are any zeros in my array or not. If there is at least one zero, my answer is 0 in that case. Otherwise, the answer is this temp, which is the product of 5 negative values which are having the least magnitude. Okay, this is for that case. Otherwise, we can come to these 3 cases. So in all of these 3 cases, first of all, what I would be doing, I'll sort my array. So after sorting, it will make sure that the negative values are present on the left side on the initial part of my array, and the positive value would be at the ending part of my array in the last section. And yes, at this point I would be having the largest magnitude as far as I'm concerned with the positive values, and even in the starting phase in my array where I'm having the negative values, even here I would be having the largest magnitude or the greatest magnitude I can have using negative values. So when I'm picking these values, the values according to these numbers, if I want to pick negative number, I would be picking from the beginning, as the magnitude of negative value would be greatest at the beginning. And if I'm picking a positive number from my array, as I want my product to be maximum, I will be picking from the right side, that is from the end of my array. Here the magnitude. So yes, let's see these 3 cases now. So to find out this, first I should check whether I am having at least 5 positive numbers or not in my array. I'll check the count pause. If I am having 5 positive numbers, then I will be finding out the product of 5 numbers from the last that are present at the last in my array, as I have sorted them, and my array is only containing negative and positive values. At the end, I would be finding out the maximum product. So I have stored this answer. Then I'm checking to this thing. I'm checking whether I'm having at least 3 positive numbers and at least 2 negative numbers. For that, I'm finding out the product of last 3 elements in my array and the first 2 elements in my array. Because if I'm picking the 2 negative numbers, the largest magnitude which I would be getting would be present at the beginning part of my array, as I've sorted them. And again, for the third case, I'm checking whether I'm having 1 positive number and 4 negative numbers or not. If I'm having these numbers, then for negative, I'm taking the product of first 4 numbers, and for the 5th positive number, the 1 positive number I'm including the last element from my array. And then when I found out all such values, I'm taking the maximum one as my answer. Let's see the code now. Yes, taken the array. If it is 0, I'm not pushing it into my array, just making a count. It is doing 0 plus plus. If it is greater than 0, I'm incrementing my post count. If it is negative, I'm incrementing my negative count. And if it is positive or negative, I'm also pushing it in my array. If I see after generating my new array, if the length is less than 5, it means I must include some zeros in my product. Then the answer would be 0. And in this case, if I see there are no positive numbers in my array, then I simply take 5 negative numbers that are having the least magnitude, and I find out their product. Again, I see if there are any zeros in my array or not. If there is 0, the answer can be 0 in that case. Otherwise, the answer I am getting by multiplying 5 negative numbers. And then I'm seeing if I'm taking 1 positive and 4 negative, I'm finding out the answer accordingly. And this is for the case when I'm taking 3 positive and 2 negative. And this is for the case when I'm considering all the positive numbers to find out the product. At the end, I'm returning the maximum maximum number I'm getting from all of these. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please consider subscribing to our channel. And yep, take care, happy coding, see you in the next video.